What's up, Michigan? Welcome back inside the State Champ Sports Network studio. You know what time it is. It's hang time. Talking boys basketball here in the great state of Michigan. My name is Lauren Plant. TJ Kelly here back with me. And again, we segment out this show. Got a lot to talk about. How you doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Trying to avoid the weather. Stay warm. About time.
Yes, exactly. And I know we had some cancellations over the past week and everything. Looks like things are getting back on track. We got some big showcases happening this weekend. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But every week we like to do a segment we call Paint Pontifications. And basically, this is kind of TJ's open forum to talk about some of the things that are happening in and around high school basketball here in the state of Michigan. And first off, last week we had a big win. Unranked Zeeland West beating number 12 Cass Tech. Nearly 20 points was the differential in that one. That's a big win for the Ducks.
Hey, that's a huge win. I mean, it's a statement win. It's one of those things where, you know, it takes them from one place to another psychologically. And you talk about east-west matchups. I mean, as far west as you can go versus almost as far east as you can go with Zeeland on the west side and Cass Tech on the east side. To be able to beat the state champions, it's defending state championships. That's a huge step in the right direction. Merritt Alderink, he really got to step it up, show what he could do for the state. He'll be a Mr. Basketball candidate. I imagine he will be. He's headed to Indiana State at 6'6". You know, he's going to be pretty productive down there for the Sycamores, I believe, and hopefully he's able to continue. You have a nice long stretch in March as well.
All right. Well, congratulations. Those, again, statement wins and can go a long way when it gets towards tournament time. Had a milestone reached last week. We had a player, 2,000 career points. Who are we talking about?
We're talking about Trenton Teratuta. Hey, going for 2,000 points for Hillman. Not the largest school in the state, but let's go there because we all do this.
That's it.
Up here.
Yep.
You know, and so that's pretty much the region where he's covering 2,000 points. I don't care who you score it against, who you do it against. He hit that mark, and that's something that they can never take away from him. Or, you know, it's one of those things where, hey, you've earned that, and very few people have got to that 2,000-point mark. We'll see where he winds up going on for the rest of that. I'm not sure he's going to get enough points to get that Jay Smith record, but, hey, we'll see what happens.
Say his name again.
Trenton Teratuta.
Trenton Teratuta. We like to say that all day. So last week we hit up a couple of Mr. Basketball hopefuls. Want to talk about a couple more this week. The big man, Aiden Davis from Onstead, going to Wright State. He's the younger brother of Austin Davis. You Michigan fans out there, talk about Aiden Davis.
Aiden Davis is a kid that can go for 40 and 20, throw in 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, throw in 10 steals, throw in 10 blocks. He can bring up triple doubles in whatever game, and he's going to be approaching quadruple doubles for each one of his games. I really like what head coach Brad Maska is doing. You know, just traveling outside of the Irish Hills, getting things done over at the Motor City Roundball Classic, playing up in Lansing. I believe they was in Lansing. Everett had a tournament a few weeks ago. So it's good to see them going out there and really showing and showcasing, you know, his top player, you know, who should be definitely, I believe, I mean, he's got the stats for it, to be on a Mr. Basketball in that Final Five. And then also let's move over to EJ Ryans over at Grand Rapids Northview. He's headed over to Western Michigan. One of the best defensive guards that we're going to find. I really like the role that he's taking, and not just saying as a senior, hey, this is my team, this is what we're going to go do to make sure that I get mine. Dave Chana, as the head coach over at Grand Rapids Northview, has done a wonderful job of being able to mesh his older players with his freshmen and with his sophomores. And so I think that my opinion, anytime you have a senior that kind of steps it up, sacrifices it for the team, and they're still going out there and having success, I think that he's definitely worthy of being on that Mr. Basketball Final Five as well. So shout out to him. Shout out to Aiden Davis as well.
All right, let's move into a section we call Rankings Rationale. TJ Kelly does our top 25. This is our super 25 for boys basketball for the state of Michigan. You just go to statechampsnetwork.com, click on the Rankings tab on the homepage. You can check those out. They're updated every Monday. So what we do is, again, TJ backs up some of the people that and some of the teams that he has coming into his top 25. Well, Rockford out on the west side joining the top 25. They come in at 21.
Yeah, I really like what Rockford has been able to do. Obviously, you know, they're one of the tougher teams to beat. I always looked at Rockford kind of like as the Clarkston of the West. You know, they've got a lot of solid programs in their athletics. They're huge schools. And not only that, they've had success over the time. I mean, you have to go back a while since Marley was coaching and Rockford wound up winning the state title. It's still in the 21st century, but, we're still there. Yeah. But, yeah, what Rockford's been able to do, their biggest hurdle has been having to get over Muskegon, who's the number 1 ranked team. And so hopefully they'll have another shot later on in the season in that matchup. So, but at the same time, I think those guys are definitely worthy of it. And, yeah, go Rams.
We end the show each week talking about some of the future forecasts, and this means games that you need to be aware of. Maybe you're a Hoops fan, you want to find something to go look at this weekend. Well, there are actually several showcases happening, and there will be coming up. And so let's talk about the first one, the 2K24 showcase at Aquinas College. A couple of matchups that we think are very impressive. Grand Rapids Northview versus North Farmington, and Benton Harbor, which is a new member of the top 25, versus Flint Amity.
Hey, well, of course, Sterling, they're not too far removed away, from their state title. The shot that was heard around the world when you've got Scooby Johnson knocking down the 3 over outreached Marcus Bingham's arm. I think what Benton Harbor has been able to do, and again, just getting over the hurdle, but they're a standard when it comes to Division II. Do they wind up making another run? Well, right now they're undefeated, and they're rocking and rolling, and we'll see how far they can wind up getting and see if they can beat some of the other teams from the west side to get to the Breslin again.
And Northview versus North Farmington should be interesting.
It should be interesting. It should be great.
Yeah.
I tell you, Grand Rapids Northview has been to the Breslin, and North Farmington has struggled to get there the last few years. And so will there be something that North Farmington, the Raiders, can learn from this game, whether it be patience, whether it be in having somebody else that's wound up stepping up. I remember mentioning Rob Smith, a couple of weeks ago, as well as Dylan Smith, who are newcomers to the team. And so they've been able to add something. And do they bring something new to the team? I definitely think so. Dylan Smith, traveling over or being at Walled Lake Western, and having decent success, but not the amount of success that North Farmington has. I think that inbuilt hunger is one of those things where it can take teams from one level to another.
Check it out, and certainly let us know about some things or some big games that are coming up that you'd like us to talk about here on the program. Maybe you've got some story ideas. Whatever it is, you can just hit us up on the socials, and we'll shout you out if we decide to use it. But thanks again so much for watching this edition of Hangtime. We will see you next week.
State Champs Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Be curious, make magic. Hangtime is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, proud partner of the MHSAA. And the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation Athlete of the Year Award applications now being accepted until March 31st, 2024 for the male and female athletes of the year. Download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com. You cannot be nominated if you don't apply.